Let's see. So Taco here, Big Baby Jack on Twitch, is a Kiriko Silver 1 player and gave us 2 key moments. During the fight that occurs on point during this clip, the fight feels very split. There is a fight going on point as well as Mercy/Bastion, sometimes in position by the entrance to the next portion of the map. How can I better position myself to be able to make a greater impact in all sides of the fight? So positioning during this specific team fight. And also I make a lot of mistakes on attack. Occurs too much when you stay too close to your team. You struggle in the choke. What can you do better to enable your team to push through? Okay, from 326 until 415. Let's watch Taco Silver Kiriko. Nice Suzu. Nice TP.
Let the kitsune guide you.
Good ult. Okay, there are a lot of things to talk here. We're gonna spend 15 minutes on this. I can feel it. I can feel it. Alright, let's watch the entire fight. So, let's watch the entire fight. Let's watch from over here. So get ready for this. First things first, let's see what happens here. How do you get in this position? How do you get in this spot? Because, number one, what you have to do in team fights is spam before the fight starts. So, when the fight finishes, we're gonna go a couple of seconds before. Okay, so the fight finishes, your Winston goes aggressive and stuff. You shouldn't follow up the Winston over here. I mean, you can stay here a little bit. You can also stay with the Ashe, but then like when you see that he goes in, you have to decide. You either TP with him or you drop. You did the right decision. Thing is, when you drop, when you're playing against the enemies, they don't have anything that can one-shot you long range unless Sojourn's charged up. So you can just drop. Mercy is already healing the Bastion, so you should just left click. I mean, damage. You should just damage. So you drop, and right now, instead of checking if Mercy's okay, Bastion's okay, just spam choke points. Just spam over here, shoot non-stop with Kiriko if possible. Here, Winston's full HP. You see the bubble, and I'm going to give you one of the secrets of playing Kiriko with Winston. When you see that the Winston bubble breaks, throw the Suzu to avoid bursts of damage instead of using the Suzu as you would use Immortality Field. So, specifically with Winston, and with also heroes that have good disengage tools like Reaper, even like Tracer, even like Genji when he has Deflect to a certain extent. What you have to do is, right, Suzu has a travel time, right? And it doesn't feel like Nade, okay? It takes some time for it to splash on the ground, and then I'm distracted by the donut charm. God damn it, I'm hungry. Okay, I'm not, but when Suzu splashes the ground, it takes a little bit more to activate. Like, it's not like Ana's nade. So, to make your job easier, you have 2 options. You can either Suzu early, right? And learn the proper Suzu timing and use it as a lamp, which you wanted to do here, but you didn't get the timing right because you haven't played a lot of Kiriko. I think Ana's nade would have probably saved Winston here, for example. Or, you can just look for visual cues. In this specific example, the second Winston bubble breaks is the second you throw the Suzu, or right before it breaks. You can see that the bubble breaks when you see cracks in it. So, Winston jumps down, you shoot a little bit, even if you don't see the enemies, dude, they might walk into this. You shoot, you heal, and then you see that the bubble's about to break, throw the Suzu, he's not gonna take damage, and then you heal. If he doesn't jump out, you already did your job. Okay, you already did your job. This is thing number 1. Always when Winston bubble breaks, try to Suzu him if you feel like he's not gonna jump away, if he's in front of the enemies. This is good. I love this. Now you spam. I love this. Keep spamming. You back out. This is nice. One thing though, over here, being chased by a Reaper, you disengage. I wanted to say that maybe when you see Mercy going here to the side, you realize that she wants to go for a res. You pick your life compared to Mercy. I would say that probably instead of doing damage to Orisa, a small micro mistake. Whenever your Mercy goes for a res, try to heal the Mercy because your healing takes some time for it to actually arrive at the target. So Mercy goes aggressive. She really wants to do that. You see that Reaper's going for you. Amazing disengage. Amazing disengage here. You understand the limits. You heal the Bastion. Very nice. Very nice. Nice shots onto the Reaper. Okay, okay. Good, good, good. I love the angle. Your positioning is really nice. But you get a kill. This is huge. You get a kill. But I wanted to say, sometimes Kiriko excels at landing headshots, right? So if you put yourself in positions on high ground, you're a little bit harder to get picked off, right? It's hard for the enemies. You have the advantage, okay? The enemies have to look up. You have a good angle and stuff. But you might have a difficult time landing headshots. So although this position is amazing at spamming them and making them look at you, maybe after a couple of shots you can drop. And this is easier to aim in a line like this, to aim at headshot level while also healing your teammates, instead of just staying here and maybe landing a headshot. So you can also do this. So you stay on top, you spam a bit on high ground, and then you might have an easier job of landing the shots if you drop and spam at head level. Still, not a mistake, just a small suggestion over here. This is good, this is good. Now, here's one thing with Kiriko, okay? You're playing her as you'd play with Baptiste in this scenario. Your positioning is similar to Baptiste's. Always view Kiriko as you're only with your team if they call you out of position. Does that make sense? In ranked. So if your team is grouped up here and you're not being contested, you should be here, or you should be here, or you should be here. Why? Because the enemies are walking, I can't draw this, but the enemies are walking like 5 people against 5 people. Now, if you're on the side and you shoot, you might even get a kill onto the Sojourn, or you might even get a headshot over here in the back. Because if you stay this close to your team, then Orisa can just walk in and throw this. She got 5 people in this ultimate. So, fight is over, I guess. Like, the fight is over here. And always think about ways of not grouping up with your team, but splitting away. In case your team needs help, you can heal from long range. You can TP to your team and suzu them. Or you can TP to them if you feel like you're being pressured. This is specifically for ranked. So this was amazing. This fight was amazing. And now, don't stay grouped with your team. It's clear that your team wants to walk here. Maybe go right side. Maybe even walk in the back. Because you're safe, okay? Nobody can kill you from that distance. So split. Think about this. I'm not with my team. Shoo. Ew. Ew. Shoo. I don't want to be next to you. You know, that's what you gotta think. This being said, your Suzu timing was impeccable over here. Orisa will not ult instantly. Orisa will... boom. It's more of a feeling. You have to give it some time before she charges, depending on how much HP your team has. Your Suzu timing was okay, okay? So it was okay because it allowed your teammates to escape the ultimate because it removes the slow during the duration of the Suzu, but it would have not saved your teammates if Orisa would have, if your teammates were in range, right, of the ultimate. Your Suzu was like literally super close. It was super close to actually not being okay, but overall I would say that it was decent timing. So again, you have 2 options when she casts the ultimate. You either throw the Suzu at the beginning of the ult or close to the beginning of the ultimate if your teammates kind of have a lot of HP, which they do, so you can escape the slow during the duration of the Suzu and everybody escaped, or you wait for Orisa for like half a second, a second or so, and you get a timing when she's about to slam. Regardless, this was good. Now, this is the issue though. You using your Suzu at the beginning of the ultimate made it so that you force your TP out, you see? A small mistake that could have won you the fight. So over here, because you throw this, you disengage, and then you're afraid that you're still in the ultimate. And you are in the ultimate. Suzu's over, you still move slow, so you just TP out. You not having TP here means that you cannot TP to the Bastion that is low to the side. And Bastion dies because of it. I think if you'd have been here with Mercy, you could have stayed with You could have saved the Bastion. You could have also ulted on the Bastion. Could have even killed your Orisa.
Let the kitsune guide you.
And stuff like that. So yeah, this is the downside of this. This is like a small mistake. A small mistake because I feel like we haven't played against a lot of Orisas recently, and it's hard to understand how to counter them. So, again, you have two options. You either use your suzu right now so everybody can escape at the beginning of the ultimate, kind of, right? Everybody can, like, disengage. Or you wait a little bit more when she charges up and you feel she's gonna get the damage in. Which should be about here. If you watch me play, I always wait unless my teammates are low. Let's see from her point of view. Wait. Oh, okay, now. See what I mean? Like, it was half a second to a second a bit too early. If your team is super low HP, though, then that's when you use your Suzu instantly. Because of this, you can't get to the Bastion. You split to the Ashe. This is nice. What you can do over here is you realize you can't heal the Bastion. I know that you want to walk right side. It's okay. Start doing damage. This is good. Start protecting. And right now what I would do is turn my ultimate and hopefully get a pick. Did Bob get affected by the ultimate? This is what I wanted to see. I don't think he got affected by it. Okay, so when I heard the Bob, I was thinking that you should throw your ultimate on the Bob when you're playing with an Ashe. I don't think he got affected by it. This angle was a little bit weird too for the Bob. Like, I was thinking about maybe walking a bit to the right and casting this, or just casting this over here. Regardless, whenever you hear a Bobby and you're down one, or like you hear a Bobby, just throw your ultimate on where Ashe throws the Bobby, and you're gonna do a ton of damage. Okay, now I don't have Suzu. You heal. This is nice. And you keep the Suzu in case your team is going to be low. Mercy splits. Gets speared. Goes in. Boom. Okay. Let's talk about... This is also a little bit... This is why I said that this fight is so long, and then I'm going to go over it again. So, when you use your ultimate, your Suzu usage will be like this. If the enemies do not have ultimates because you haven't heard them use... Because you heard them use ultimates, or the round is... It's in the first minute or so, and you don't have ultimates, then you can use your Suzu at the beginning of the ultimate and just spam it as much as you can in order to avoid getting damaged. If the enemies have ultimates, or you want to enable your teammates to make a play, then you can use your Suzu to either deny the enemies, save the Suzu to either deny the enemies from using their ultimates, or to help your teammates do the play. In this specific case, use your Suzu over there. You don't have it now. Okay, so you don't have it, and your Suzu is going to be available. I don't know if you're keeping track if Reaper has ultimate or not, but so far so good. This fight is nice. But keep an eye out onto the Mercy. Your Suzu is going to be available. Somebody died earlier, and right now you're probably thinking, what can I use my Suzu for? Right? Instead of like going on the side. Somebody died there. Keep an eye out on Mercy. She goes to the side. You can just TP to her, throw the Suzu, and the rest would have went out. Because right now, what you're doing is you're not deciding what you have to do. You're just like wiggling around, you know? Even though you move super fast in the ultimate, always think what you want to do. Do you want to do damage? Do you want to deny the enemies? Or do you want to help your teammates? As a tip, if somebody dies and you have a Mercy in your team and you use your Kiriko ult, that's a huge opportunity for Mercy to go for a res. So in this case, maybe try to save the Suzu for the res if she goes for it. If not, then try to use it for yourself to maybe secure a kill. And here's another thing. You go for the Mercy a little bit too late. You get speared. Use the Suzu now. You're a bit out of position. And you just dead. Now, let's cover the 3 things in this team fight to simplify it. This is interesting because a lot of these things are, I would say, specific mistakes and not general patterns of mistakes. So it shows that you have a good understanding of the hero and of the game, although you're in silver, which is kind of odd. So, again, this team fight. The next one, actually. Bum, 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 bum. This is a good kill. When Winston goes on top. Wait, where was it? Where was it? It's at 326. Okay. So, at the beginning of the fights, at the beginning of the fights, try to spam at head level instead of healing. You can heal them from... You can heal and damage to get in a pattern. So you heal, you throw a kunai. You heal, you throw a kunai. You heal, you throw a kunai. That's what you should always be doing. As long as you spam the knife at head level and you don't need the knives before the fight starts. Secondly, when Winston bubble breaks, throw the suzu. Very easy to get usage out of it. Do not use it as an immortality field, but use it more as a way to prevent damage when paired specifically with a Winston. Because right now he gets bursted, boom. Good disengage here. I love the positioning, but you might want to put yourself in an easier position to land headshots, which means play at the same height that the enemies are playing so you can get some headshot kills. Thirdly, even if you get a pick, even if you don't get a pick, split from your team and try to look for headshots in ranked. This creates off angles, creating massive pressure on the enemies, and your team doesn't need you to be with them. You can heal from almost every range possible. It takes some time for it to travel, but you can pre-heal. Just throw the heal at your teammates. When they walk here, you play from here or even in the back, and you should be fine. Fourthly, against Orisa's ultimate, I recommend waiting a second or a second and a half before she's gonna throw her ultimate if your teammates are not low, because it takes time for her to channel the damage. Because of this, because you throw the suzu early, you have to use your TP out and you cannot save the bastion. And the last observation is, during your kitsune rush, try to think, do you enable your teammates or do you try to deny the enemies from doing stuff? In this particular case, when somebody's dead and you have a Mercy in your team, always save your Suzu for the rest if she goes for it. If you see that your Mercy is passive and just wants to heal, then you can just go for aggressive plays and use the Suzu for yourself. Or you can just save the Suzu until one of the enemies use their ultimates. And another tip that I have is, whenever you're down one, I recommend using Kiriko ult as fast as possible, because you can turn fights around 4 versus 5 incredibly easy. Paired with a Bob thrown on point, this should have been a fight win. Now, let's see the second part. A lot of mistakes on attack, spend too much time too close to your team, exactly what we talked about. You struggle in the choke at 1509 until 1604. 1509, 1509, 1509 until 16. Okay, it's about a minute. Let's just play this. So it's about this choke. I'm gonna play it in 125 speed.
Be careful, Shimada.
Good. This is good. You first an ability. It's not that bad what you did there. That was super good. You first an ability. But right now, like, because of the angles that you're taking, you're a little bit scared of what you want to do, you know? I like that you're weaving the damage with the healing. Like, you have a lot of potential. Nice. I like that you use the wall climb there a little bit. Nice TP. Good disengage. You're just stuck in the choke. Okay, this entire team fight. So this is something that you probably watch me do a lot.
What's up?
But I do it because of the difference in rating. So, in these ratings, I would say that in silver, look at the enemy's positioning. They're playing on this road over here. Let's just watch, okay? They're playing on this road. They're not playing on high ground from here, right? And like taking angles and stuff. They're just playing from this position here. If you watch my stream, you'll see that I usually play like you do. I go here, I try to spam, I try to be annoying, because if I would play in the style that I'm gonna show you, I would be punished for it. But you have this luxury. Instead of closing the angles and putting yourself in a position in which it's super hard mechanically to get value out of the hero, simplify it. Spam at head level from long range. Play from here, shoot at head level. Literally, stay here, shoot at head level. That's it. You will eventually get a headshot. And eventually somebody's gonna die, probably. Eventually, probably. A lot of eventuallys and probablys, but you know what I mean. You're complicating your hero's strength. Your strength is, it's like you would play with a Zenyatta and you'd play around corners like you'd play with a Reaper. You know what I mean? Look at your range. Just play from here and spam. Reaper, for example, here is playing kind of bad. You should play a little bit closer. Now, this thing at the beginning, when you force Reaper's rate on high ground, is good. I like it. thumbs up. I don't know how the previous fights went, but I like it. If your intention was to go here and get the Reaper away, good. But right after that, don't close the angle. Like, look at this. You're closing this angle. You're not even seeing the enemies. Go here. The wider and the longer angle you can get, the better. See what I mean? Like, yes, you're shooting, but you're complicating it. They're in the open right in front of you. Exactly same thing here. Like, okay, fine, this works for me, right? In top 500. Because if I get a headshot here, then the enemies have to, whoa, maybe we can go, maybe I can force things. But you're complicating it. Stay in the back, spam from here, and you should be fine. Look, again, your team is full HP, they cannot commit, you shouldn't stress about them. You're contesting the Reaper from there, but even if you shoot the Reaper, can he shoot your team? No, because he doesn't have range. If this would be, let's say, a Soldier, or a Cassidy, or a Widow, then this would be sick. But Reaper here is just waiting. Even if you shoot him now, he will not engage probably until your team is over here. So this entire duration until your team gets there is downtime that you could have... it's time that you could have put into pressuring people over there. And when the fight starts, then maybe you can go over here and shoot at head level, sure. But now imagine the entire fight, you spamming from here. And then when Reaper goes in, you spam from here. You see your entire team. Okay, you can just walk around and see your entire team. And if you need to TP to your team, fine. And if you don't see the enemies, again, you heal. And if you see the enemies, you just shoot them. That's it. Here as well. A lot of the times I feel like players are complicating a lot of situations. So as a small rotational tip, when you cap this point, go right side and try to spam either here at head level, or if the enemies are here, you can even spam from here at head level. Maybe you would have killed the Soldier right here. Literally, now he's getting healed. Maybe you would have killed the Kiriko deck. Maybe the Moira. Spam, 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 spam. Oh, I don't have an angle. Fine. Spam, spam, spam. I don't like this. And Reaper is close. I'm gonna play from here. I can see my teammates. I can see the enemies if they want to contest the point. And I can shoot the Reaper. Spam, spam, spam. And you should be fine. Here as well, I look at the enemies. Imagine if you would have been playing from here. Could have also suzu the Soldier. Could have done a lot of things. I want to continue watching this fight for like about 2 minutes. I'm gonna go in the review. And let's talk about the ultimate here, actually, for 1 second.
Let the kitsune guide you.
I like this. I would have suzu'd before and then through the ultimate. I like this though. There's one problem with it. I think your ultimate gets stopped in the payload. So always keep this in mind that maybe you should ult to the side of it. Does it get stopped on this payload? It does get stopped on the payload. So do not ult on the payload, ult to the side of it. You could have ulted here. The ultimate was great, by the way. Your ults are good, are really good. But ult to the side here or to the side here. Even if it's not perfect, you might get more value. Zarya might have had speed boost here, for example.
You take a lot of damage.
And about your Suzu usage during the ultimate, let's see it a little bit. So you see them, you throw the ult. I would have thrown it a little bit earlier there. You throw the Suzu, this is good. You heal. Okay, you heal instead of damaging. What you can do here is right after you finish healing, throw a headshot here. Finish healing, throw a left click. Good. Mercy when it goes into the sky. Whatever, you can't keep up with everything that's happening. Throw a shot. Nice, I like it. You have the Suzu again. Always check your Suzu out, okay? You can throw the Suzu again, so you wouldn't get speared here. Because you get speared, you cannot heal the Zarya. You see they're low. You have the Suzu. 1, 2, 3 seconds. I like how you walk here, trying to get the Soldier and the Zarya as well. You get both of them. You heal. You get low. You get in cover. I like it. And now, here's one thing though. When the fight is... When your allies are splitting because of the travel time that a healing has, you can just TP to them. I know that you're thinking about TPing to the Zarya. You would have died. But keep this in mind. I think that if you Suzu'd yourself before the spear connected, you probably could have helped your teammates. And another tip that I can give you in silver, in gold, and in bronze, I would say, is crouch spam during the ultimate. Because I feel like the enemies will have a hard time hitting you during the ultimate.
You take a lot of damage, huh?
Okay, so just crouch spam. Just crouch spam non-stop and you should be fine. The key moments that you selected show the, I would say, the main things that you can work on with your plays. And this being said, let's move into the Olaf review. What to work on to improve fast. Let's edit this for a bit. Wait, my timer is not on screen. Okay, timer is on screen. Time remaining. So let's edit this. I would say that your aim is... Let's go with the thing that I want to talk about the most. I want to talk about your positioning with Kiriko specifically. And hear me out. I think that this is probably your biggest thing that you can fix fast and win more games. I think that your aim is good, so I don't think you should work on your aim that much. I think your cooldown management can be a little bit better, and that your decision making can be a little bit better as well. But overall, I honestly believe that if you fix your positioning, you will climb to gold/plat in no time. Gold/plat in no time. So, let me lower this down. Olaf approved ways to improve fast. Olaf approved ways to improve fast. Number one, I would say that... Wait. Okay, small technical error. Technical error is fixed. Number one, always think of angles that are long and wide to take with Kiriko and spam at head level. Do not stay grouped with your team when the fights begin. Okay, do not stay grouped with your team when the fights begin. But TP in if they need help. Use very specific tips here. This is about cooldowns, I would say, in decision making. About cooldowns, I would say probably use suzu when Winston... Use suzu to prevent incoming damage rather... Bum, bum, bum. Bum, then saving low HP teammates. In your Kitsune rush, decide if you enable the enemy. If you enable the enemy, if you enable your allies, or deny the enemy from doing stuff. So, Olaf approved ways to improve fast. Olaf not approved ways. Olaf thinks that you should. Boom. Always think of angles that are long and wide to take with Kiriko and spam at head level. What you can do is that you can go think about the longest sightline that you can have in each section of the map and play from there at the beginning. This is really good. Olaf recommends. Oh, perfect. Now, do not stay grouped with your team when the fights begin, but TP in if they need help. This can be in contradiction with number 2, okay? So sometimes the longest angle that you can take, the biggest sightline that you can take, can be where your team is playing from, but this doesn't mean that you cannot sidestep to the left. Begin. Where did I begin? When the fights begin. Perfect. Shut up. Okay. Use suzu to prevent incoming damage rather than saving your low HP teammates. So if, let's say, your Reaper goes really aggressive in them and you see that he uses Rate, then throw the suzu to save him. You see that Winston jumps into 5 people and his bubble is about to break, then use it instead of waiting for him to get low HP. That is not bad suzu usage. Suzu usage will come with time. Appropriate suzu usage will come with time, and you should not be afraid of using it to deny damage rather than saving teammates. Imagine suzu sometimes as you would use it as a Zarya bubble, if that makes sense. use it sometimes as a Zarya bubble instead of Baptiste lamp. Boom! There you go, we broke it down. I finally found the comparison. Sometimes it's better to use it as Zarya bubble than use it as a Baptiste lamp. And Kitsune guys decide if you enable your allies or deny the enemies from doing stuff. All of approved ways of improving fast. Okay, 1, play long range. Okay, always playing long range. Never, almost never stay grouped with your team. And that's it, literally. Like the play long range one is very simple. You look, and if you see that the enemies are far away from you, then good. If you see that the enemies are close to you, then bad. And almost never stay grouped up with your team. If you see that your teammates are around you, bad. If the teammates are away from you, good. You can just TP in. Time's up. I hope that this helped you out.
Hey, I'm Olaf. If you enjoyed the content, make sure to subscribe. Meow.